A TikTok star and self-proclaimed prankster who films himself trespassing in shops and people's homes has promised to continue with his stunts, and that is despite calls from MPs to take his account down. His name is Bakari Agaro, and here he is. He goes by the name Mizzy, and you can see him here stealing somebody else's dog.
You got a nice dog.
She's lovely, she's, yes. Family dog. Don't run away with her.
Boom gang, whole lot of gangs. Get outside!
Joining me now to discuss this, comedian Luke Stephen. Hello, Luke.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Thanks for being on the programme. Now, this is a fellow who does things like literally break into somebody's house and just walk in and sort of avail himself of the amenities, or pick up someone's dog and steal it, or break into a shop, or all kinds of things. Have you followed him? Have you seen all the different things that he's done, or at least some of them?
Yes, I have. I've looked at some of them today, and they're absolutely disgusting. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of pranks anyways. The idea of a prank is to make someone look foolish, so they're quite they're quite mean-spirited anyway. But these are not pranks. If you watch them, the idea of it is to frighten and intimidate people. That's all he does with this, and he very carefully chooses the people he does it to as well. I mean, there you just showed a clip of him stealing an old lady's dog. He knows there's no comeback there. There's an awful one of him at Stoke Newington Station approaching three young women at night, asking them if they want to die and suggesting that he's got a weapon on him. It's just awful. I defy anyone to watch these and not be enraged by what they're watching. These are all cowardly acts by a very horrible bully.
I know there's another of him, I think it's fair to say, I don't know, you might disagree, but harassing some Orthodox Jews, I think, in the sort of Stamford Hill neighbourhood. Have you noticed that one?
I've noticed that one as well. Orthodox Jews are known for their violent temper, aren't they? I mean, he knows there's going to be no comeback there whatsoever. It's interesting as well that whenever he approaches men, he has about 2 or 3 people with him to protect himself. There's another one as well when he goes into a library and starts ripping up books in front of women, again, just to scare, just to intimidate them. So it's very selective what he's doing. Now, he's not going into boxing gyms asking people if they want to die because he knows what the result will be.
Yeah.
It's just attacking vulnerable people. It's just a very nasty, cowardly bully, and it's absolutely disgusting. There is nothing, and it's. I mean, a bully does that because they don't feel good about themselves. They're obviously cowards. They have problems in themselves. So he's doing this to make himself feel better about something.
So Luke, the word prank, if you say I'm pulling a prank, or I'm playing a prank, or we're staging a prank, I suppose what you're implying is it's funny, it's humorous. I remember, people might remember Candid Camera in the old days, and I remember watching one particular episode. There's a guy sitting next to some other people in a cafe, and he was kind of taking his chips and he was just dipping them in the ketchup on the other person's plate, and the people were looking at him like, what? And it was funny because it was kind of gentle, it was unthreatening, it was kind of, amusing. And you could see there was a thing saying, there was a doormat in front of a park and it said, wipe your feet before walking into a park. And it was funny to see how many people did wipe their feet. They were outside, they were still going to be outside, but did they wipe their feet before entering the park? Those sorts of kind of innocent, quite jolly, quite sort of, vaguely amusing things. But do you think there's anything funny or even vaguely amusing about this guy's pranks?
No, well, I just want to reiterate, these are not pranks. A prank is to make someone look foolish. He's trying to scare and intimidate women. There's nothing. He's not trying to be funny. He can cover it up and go, "Oh, it's just a prank. I don't mean it." But you can't. If you're going to a library and tearing up books in front of people, and then swearing at people, that's not. You're trying to scare someone. That's your only intention of doing it. You're not trying to make people laugh. You're not trying to, you're not pulling the wool over their eyes. You're just trying to intimidate people. That's all that's all this kid's doing. He's just trying to scare people. It's disgusting. It's so awful. And if he continues to do it, he should be arrested.
How popular is he? Has he got millions of followers or hundreds of thousands or?
He had a few 100,000, I believe, but his accounts have now been removed. But he says he's going to reopen them. But if he keeps doing it, I mean, there's a guy called Salman Anwari who's posted a lot of the videos on Twitter, not because he thinks they're hilarious. It's the idea is to capture this kid. So if more people share his stuff, I think he's more likely to get caught. So if he keeps doing it, he'll be arrested. This is not a nice person. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing gentle or fun about him. He's a very nasty bully. There's another one as well when he goes up with 2 of his friends covered in a mask, asking some other guys on the street if they want to die. He's not telling jokes. He's not trying to make people laugh. He's trying to scare and intimidate people.
And the
That's
way,
what
and you know, the classic thing where, you know, somebody says they're funny and you say, no, this isn't funny, it's frightening, it's intimidating, actually you're breaking the law, you're scaring an old lady by running away with her dog, and this is just not funny. And they say, well, you don't get it. You know, it is really funny. That's why I've got hundreds of thousands of followers, because people think it's hilarious. You are such an old stooge, stuck in the mud. You know, you're so judgmental, you're too old, you're different class. You just don't get it. You don't get why it's funny. And that's your loss and your lack, not mine. Do you think there's a kind of percentage of people who think it is hilariously funny and just you and I don't get it?
I don't think so. I mean, I've been a comedian for 15 years. I've spent a lot of time around jokes. Like, I kind of know how jokes work and what they are. This is just, it's not even mean-spirited. It's trying to scare people. I mean, steal a dog of a 6'5" bloke and then post that and see how funny people find it. Do something like that. Not an old lady. You're trying to, and also as well, the thing with this as well, he may find it funny, but these experiences are going to stick with these people. You can't just walk into someone's house and with 3 of your friends as a joke.
And also, there's surely only going to be a matter of time until, heaven forbid, it all goes terribly wrong and you walk into some house thinking you're absolutely fine, and some, as you say, 6'5" irate uncle from upstairs comes and does you in. I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time, isn't it?
100%.
Accident waiting to happen. Let's hope it doesn't. Luke, how lovely to have you on. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.
Thanks, Vanessa. Thank you.
That's Luke Stephen, the comedian there.